Okay, this is Area Cable, areacable.com, and I'm Craig Shipp. I can be found at CraigShipp.com. And Kevin, you've got a special show tonight. Can you tell us about it and introduce your guests?
Thanks very much, Craig, and we really appreciate the support of areacable.com and areaguides.com. Hi, I'm Kevin Dolan, host of the Paranormal Journey television show, and this is our test show. We've got two special guests tonight on our first live internet television show. It's a talk show devoted to all things paranormal and ghostly. We've got John Curley from Harrisburg Area Paranormal Society, and we have Nicole Burns. And Nicole, would you give me a current name of your group? I'm sorry.
We are the Baltimore Paranormal Investigators, or we go by BPI for short.
BPI, okay. And both groups have, we've been fortunate to have both groups investigate the Landon House at separate times, and I thought you'd just kind of, we'll start with John, had the most recent investigation Saturday night, and then we'll jump over to Nicole, and she'll tell us about her investigation with her group. John?
Hey, how you doing, Kevin?
Hey, John.
Yeah, we were down there Saturday night investigating, and quite a few paranormal incidents that happened, especially down in the basement of Landon House. Pretty cool stuff. Thought we seen a couple faces and a shadow of an arm on the wall down there in the slave room, so it was pretty neat.
Was that later in the night? Getting a lot there later in the night.
Yeah, it was probably around 2 o'clock in the morning, something like that. But yeah, I'm the founder of the Harrisburg Area Paranormal Society. Started around 3 years ago, and I was actually working right over across the street from Landon House at the Bank of America when I seen Landon House, and I stopped in and talked to Kevin, and we've been friends ever since.
Yeah, it really kind of kicked off a really good relationship. We decided, because we'd always done very well with paranormal. Of course, our annual event, which is coming up, it's the Haunted Landon Mansion. That's a big fundraiser that helps us to preserve the house every year, every Friday, Saturday in October. And so we have done ghost walks, and of course, we had, when I met John, several groups. We'd had a lot of groups asked to come in and investigate the house. And what John has brought to the Landon House is kind of a professional approach of kind of qualifying the procedures at Landon House, and networking us with other groups, building the foundation of a business, because our mission is to preserve the Landon House. And John, I'd like to just thank you again for all your hard work on behalf of Landon House, especially viral marketing and all the many hours you've put into helping me preserve Landon House. And as a personal note to that, I called John up because when I came into the Landon House Sunday morning about 7 o'clock, and I was getting ready to bust John's chops because the front door was left open. It was open about 8 inches. And when I called John today, he said he definitely locked it down. So John, you want to share with your procedure for locking down Landon House? And because I would consider that pretty good evidence what happened.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to Landon House, several times, and I never let anyone in my group lock the place up, because I'm always responsible for locking Landon House. So I want to make sure that I lock it and no one else. Because if something happens, I want to be responsible for it. So, I locked the main door next to the ballroom. I locked that first, and then I went down and I had the door open, and I yelled at everybody, make sure you get all your stuff out of the Landon House, because once I lock this door, it's going to be locked. You're not going to be able to get back in. Everybody said they had all their stuff. I threw the bolt down, shut the door, locked it, made sure it was locked. Went back up to the first door, made sure that was locked, and we left. Then Kevin called me this morning. He's like, "Yeah, I need to talk to you, man. You left the door open." I was like, No way. I said I knew for a fact, that I locked the door. It was locked. I made sure it was locked. He's like, it was open like 8 inches. I'm like, I don't know who the hell opened that door, because I sure didn't.
Yeah, and none of my tenants, none of my tenants were there, because you're talking Sunday morning at 7 o'clock. My tenants are only in during the week. So, the weirdness continues at the Landon House.
You sure nobody went home with you?
He left.
No,
I hope not.
not sure about that at all. So I thought that was.
I mean, we were there 2 weeks ago too. So
And then Nicole.
yeah, I mean, we were there 2 weeks ago, and
Oh, I'm sorry.
it was crazy.
Yeah, we're.
Yeah, we were there 2 weeks ago, and we heard footsteps in the ballroom. So I mean, it's crazy.
Now, John, while we're talking, we just established we're going to host our first, what we're calling Landon House Paranormal Evidence Night, November 4th, Friday night, 7:30 to 9:30. And what this is going to be is a special presentation by John and the HAPS folks, Harrisburg Area Paranormal Society, of the investigations that they've done at Landon House with a thorough presentation. It's $15 admission for anybody who wants to attend. We're going to be hosting these evidence nights on the first Friday of every month, starting November 4th. We'll have it on the first Friday of December as well. And so we're looking forward to the groups that do undertake the investigations of Landon House, sharing their evidence that has been dissected, sharing it with the public. In the Landon House ballroom, to be followed by a paranormal tour of the Landon House. So it's a pretty good deal for $15, and we're hoping to spread the evidence, and it won't only be evidence from Landon House investigations; it will be other investigations as well as we build. So that'll be the first one. And Nicole, would you like to jump in and tell us a little bit about your group and what you've done at Landon House?
Sure. Well, my name is Nicole, and I reside in Baltimore, and I joined a paranormal group, BPI, as I'll call it for short, about 2 years ago. And I've always sort of had a fascination with paranormal, starting all the way back to grade school, basically. And I'd had a lot of experiences, which has sort of led me to track down a group. And we do some residential investigations, but a lot of us are really into history, and we're really fascinated with that. So we like to go to sites that have a lot of, historical, value and precedence to them. And that's where I sought you out after watching a show, and I thought, this is right in my own backyard. I had no idea.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that story, yeah, because you grew up in Urbana.
Right.
Yeah.
And,
and then you saw the Psychic Kids show.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So that's where I met you, and John, you guys were gracious enough to invite me and a friend in to participate in an investigation that John was doing, and it was fascinating. A lot of personal experiences for myself there that night, and I got one pretty solid EVP, in which case I ran right back and told my paranormal group, and we came out and did an overnight stay at the end of May, which I believe we were the first group to do the overnight stay.
That's correct.
And
we appreciate the support.
Yeah, it was fantastic, and we would love to come back and do it again. We didn't, unfortunately, compile a whole lot of evidence, but we had a ton of personal experiences which just sort of corroborate with John's evidence that he's found in the past, and their personal experiences, and just sort of the history behind Landon House.
Now, can I interject here real quick? Can you explain the difference between, because I'm a novice at this, between a personal experience and evidence?
Sure. Well, you try to get 2 to 3 pieces of evidence. A lot of times you will have a personal experience. So, for example, as John was saying earlier, he was in the ballroom, which I've also experienced. You can sometimes see things. You can hear things. In the instance with John and some of my paranormal group, we heard footsteps going down a hallway and then disappearing. Sometimes you will see actual movement, shadow figures. So it plays with all of the different senses. And we have technology today where we try to track and document the evidence and the personal experiences we have to validate those experiences. So it would have been wonderful for us we heard the footsteps. It would have been wonderful if we were able to catch something on camera, either video or, a digital camera of an apparition, perhaps, or
like recording the actual footsteps, the audio of them. That would be evidence, as opposed to you just saying that you saw it. or heard it.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So I understand. So really, it's documenting that experience
Correct.
that you had. Okay. So
Guys, I'm going to interrupt for 1 second here and introduce my son, Connor Dolan, who's
Hello.
joining the test. Who's been very active in helping to preserve Landon House and has been very, very helpful on the Haunted Landon events. Connor, welcome.
Hello.
Hey there.
I'm sorry. So, Connor, how's California?
It's good. Nice weather.
And Connor, by the way, this is being recorded. I always like to make sure everybody knows
All right, thank you.
that it's being recorded.
So, Connor, Connor grew up with Landon House. Really, I've owned it for 12 years now, and so Connor, as a little boy, grew up with it. And Connor, do you have anything you could share, from the paranormal or ghost arena that you've experienced?
I mean, I haven't seen any ghosts like some of the other people, but I don't know if you told them the story about the very first Haunted Mansion tour we did. It was like the opening night, and the first mention of Jeb Stewart on like one of the very first tours, one of the windows that was propped up just suddenly slammed down, and
That's right.
I've been in the house before, like going to visit it for some reason or another, and I, like heard footsteps, and like looked around the house and found out no one else was in the house, so I kind of got out of there real quick.
Looks like we got a live phone call coming into the show.
I didn't turn off my phone. Sorry, guys.
Nice ringtone.
My voice has my gay phone.
By the way, everybody does have a mute switch in the bottom right of the
I forgot.
Hangout control panel there. So if you do feel like you've got to cough or take a break or move some chairs around or whatever, you can just mute your mic. Just remember to unmute it when you're done doing whatever.
Okay, so Nicole, thank you, Connor.
Yeah.
Great
It's
to
good
see
seeing
you
you
for our
guys.
first Google Hangout here, huh? How you like it?
I like it. It's pretty cool. I like how it switches cameras for every person talking.
Pretty nice.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. How do I get out of here? Just exit?
Yeah, it's
You can
really
say
cool
Thank you.
when
We'll
you
see you on the next one.
yeah, when
All
you
right,
have
see
like
you guys.
9 people in. It's
That's
really
neat.
cool. Take care. Good seeing you, Connor.
Bye, Con. I'll call you later.
Yeah.
Like the sound effects.
Yeah,
Sorry, Nicole. I had to jump in because I know he's getting ready for another class tomorrow, so I thought I'd jump in.
Yeah, I didn't know he was on the invite list. That's good that he was on there. I didn't even notice.
Yep.
Cool.
So, Nicole, you were saying on your evidence gathering, your procedures. I mean, do you and John? I mean, is there like standard procedures among groups, or do groups kind of create their own standards?
I think there is definitely a standard. There is sort of a loose model out there, but I do think that each group sort of individualizes as well. How they sort of set up and go about documenting the evidence on an investigation. Would you agree, John?
Yeah, I would agree. Mostly, most groups follow the same guidelines, but here and there they're different. Depending on what equipment groups have and how they're going to set their things up and how to do their EVP sessions and how they split their groups up, throughout an investigation, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, basically, I think everyone has the same guidelines.
Yeah, I would agree. And usually when you're leading up into an investigation, or at least with our group, we get together and we have a meeting either beforehand, dinner, or, the week before to sort of discuss what we're going into, what the evidence is, what people have been saying about it, and how we're going to approach it, and just sort of have an idea of how we're going to, approach the investigation that evening. Because with our group, it all depends on, how many people go. It can be anywhere from 4 people up to 12 people. So, 12 people is great for a place like the Landon House because it's so massive. There have been investigations where we've had too many people in a very small area, and if you don't delegate responsibility and who's going to be doing what, really can damage the evidence.
Can you talk about some of the equipment that you use real quick, just to give us a few examples?
John or myself?
You can start, and then John.
Okay. Our group uses a lot of different types of equipment. We have multiple digital cameras. We have infrared, video cameras. We've got tri-field meters, different types of EMF detectors, different types of audio equipment. I recently purchased back in May a really nice piece of audio equipment that's used for recording music. Try to get some of the more subtleties out there that some of the smaller recorders just don't pick up.
And what is the PMF equipment? What's that?
Oh, the EMF detectors.
Oh, EMF,
It detects AC current and DC current, electromagnetic fields, which are natural to the environment, versus artificial sources of energy, like light sockets and things like that. Cell phones, right?
Okay, and John, can you go into some of the gear that you use?
Yeah, we use standalone DVR systems. We have 3 standalone DVR systems. We have a 4-channel, we have a 9-channel, and we have 16-channel. Bigger investigations will utilize all 3 DVR systems with the 16-channel holds 16 cameras, 9-channel 9 cameras, the 4-channel 4 cameras, and they're all infrared. They see in total darkness. We have cameras that shoot out to anywhere between 60 feet to 180 feet. We can shoot one camera, and they can go the whole length of the landing house, and you can see like it's daytime. So.
Wow.
And we use EMF detectors, EM pumps, geophones, and geophones are used. They're a smaller version of like what they would use to pick up earthquakes, and we use those to detect phantom footsteps, disembodied footsteps, digital voice recorders, and like Nicole said, we use, I have several, high-tech digital voice recorders that are used for music, and which is the H2, which probably what Nicole probably has. And that thing is incredible. You plug into it with your headphones, and you can hear voices that you normally wouldn't hear with your naked ear. You're hearing on different hertz levels that are way more sensitive than you would ever hear with your normal ear, and you'll hear voices that no one else will hear if you're plugged into that recorder. We use EMF detectors, K2 meters. We use touch lamps. I mean, spirits are made up of energy, so we use a touch lamp. Most touch lamps are basically generated from they turn on from your body's static electricity. So when you touch them, they come on. And we feel that spirits can do the same thing if they come up to them, if they wave their hand from them, that they can get the light to turn on. And it has happened in a couple of cases. The lights have turned on.
That's pretty ingenious.
John, do you have the new piece of equipment that you manufactured and invented? Did you show us the other day? Can you show us that?
I don't have one. I'm not going to get it real quick and show it to you.
Okay.
That's
pretty interesting.
Okay, while he gets that, Kevin, why don't you share with folks the website address for the Landon House?
Yes, the website address for where we're starting right now is HauntedLandon.com. We will have a forthcoming website for the Paranormal Journey TV show, but for right now we're just directing people towards HauntedLandon.com. And Nicole, while we're waiting for John, now that you're doing a hangout here with Google Plus, and John, if you're hearing this, you can jump in too. How would you see, this capability that we're doing right now in terms of augmenting a live investigation? Let's just specifically talk about the Landon House, because my mind's already, racing forward to, hard installed cameras to augment, the investigators, as well as being able to monitor it 24/7, 365.
As I said earlier, I'm a novice to this, to this whole form of communication, but I think that it's a wonderful tool. People are obviously fascinated with history and with paranormal, and I just think this is just a wonderful way to, reach out to people all over the country that, might not necessarily have cable.
And to allow people to participate in an investigation that might not be able to make the trek to the Landon House. Would that be a possibility? That people could maybe lend their expertise, like you could give feedback, and they could comment on it and things of that nature. Is this something that can be crowdsourced, that you could put together a little brain trust of people that could join from all over the world and possibly even participate at some level in an investigation? Is that possible?
We're investigating that. That's part of the purpose of this show, and what we're doing tonight is to just start the process of coming up with different applications using Google Plus as part of investigations.
Let's just real quick get John to comment on what possibilities he might see. I know it's a little early. This is the first time we've done this, but John, do you see some possibilities where this could apply to an actual investigation?
Oh yeah, I definitely think you could apply to an investigation. I mean, we could bring people in from all over the country. The Landon House. I mean, to me, I've investigated a lot of haunted places, and I think Landon House is probably one of the most haunted places that I've ever been in. I mean, every time I go there, I experience things, and most of the things that I experience, I get recorded, and I do have evidence, that these things do happen, and there are ghosts, and when you die, it's not the end. So this could be great. This could be really great for people all over the country to see Landon House, and maybe even come to Landon House and experience the haunts that happen there.
And is this a field where it would be useful from time to time to be able to have experts join in via Google Plus Hangout, for somebody that you could bounce ideas off of and get feedback from, and maybe additional expertise that they could deliver through this format?
Well, we've already discussed. We were discussing earlier today. We're John and I, Nicole. We'll bring you into the loop here as well. We're planning our first regional conference, New Year's Eve weekend, and so that'll be Thursday through Sunday, which will be open to the public, open to groups. And I could see that being like, somebody, can't go to the expense or effort of flying in from California or flying in from London. We could certainly have experts, participating in the conference live over Google Plus with the big screen TV in the ballroom. And it's like they're there. I mean, this is such great quality that it's just a perfect complement on a lot of levels. Also, I see the other big application is, we get a lot of requests from folks, and John and Nicole, I'm sure you do as well. People that would like to be in a group, but they don't have any equipment. They don't know where to go get training. We're really looking at doing a comprehensive training program out of the Landon House, via Google Plus as well as live, of course. But that could be just a tremendous application with this technology.
Super. And Nicole, could you possibly comment on that issue of how you see this could be used going forward?
I would basically say the same thing Kevin just said. I mean, one of the goals and strategies in our paranormal group is to document evidence and to teach people about the paranormal. Not only is it a wonderful way, specifically with the Landon House, to help preserve and to educate people about the Landon House and why it's so special and unique, but it's a wonderful way just to add creed to, the whole sort of genre of paranormal, because there's a lot of groups out there, there's a lot of these crazy TV shows, and we just really want to document and validify the field, with evidence. And I also think it's a wonderful tool to teach people, as Kevin was saying, that might not know how to reach out to a group, or that they don't have equipment. It's a wonderful way, just an educational tool all the way around. There's many different facets to it, I believe.
Great. Kevin, we're coming up on a half an hour here. Did you want to start the little round robin wrap up for for
Yeah,
the
I'd
show?
like to, again, I'd like to thank Nicole and John for being our guests here, where this is going to be expanded. To me, it's kind of historic. I mean, as far as I know, this is the first paranormal hangout on Google+. I haven't seen any, maybe there have been, but we're planning on this being a regular Monday night show. It will be expanded, and I think we'll quickly fill it out with the maximum, I think it's 9 or 10. We're, the regularity is the key here, consistency, and we're looking at developing this as a show ongoing. And it's not just about the Landon House. We want to hear about other investigations from other groups. John and Nicole, some of your other investigations that you've done. It's kind of free-ranging. And we'd also like to thank Craig Shipp of AreaCable.com and AreaGuys.com for providing the network to carry this, and also the technical expertise. Thank you, Craig. And I'm going to let John and Nicole wrap up, and then I'll just say a few words at the end.
John, you want to go first?
You can go. It doesn't matter to me.
Well, I also would like to extend, a thank you to Craig and to Kevin for, giving me this invitation to participate in this experiment. I certainly look forward to participating in future shows. I'm honored and I'm flattered, and it's always great to see you. And Craig, it was nice to meet you. Thank you for your help and getting me set up with this today. And John, it's lovely to see your face. I hope we get to see each other in person soon.
Yeah, definitely. I want to thank Kevin for getting all this together and really promoting the Landon House. I mean, the Landon House is such a historic place. I think it deserves to be preserved, and people to come in and experience some of the things like myself and Nicole and other paranormal groups have experienced there. And I think it'll definitely shine a light to a lot of people that ghosts do exist, and it's not just what you see on TV. What you see here, it's real, and it's definitely going to give them a shocker. And I definitely like to thank CraigShipp for putting all this together, because without him, I don't think I wouldn't even have known about Google+. So it's pretty cool. I didn't even know anything about Google+. Yeah.
Well, I'd like to thank you all again.
It's pretty cool.
We'll do this again next Monday night at 8 p.m., and it will be a regular broadcast, so we'll see everybody on the net. Thank you again.
All right, sounds great. And again, I'm Craig Shipp, and this is AreaCable.com, and we're going to call this a wrap right now.